Hey everybody, Charlie and I are 2 here, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. We last left off, we found a monitor room several times and pissed the narrator off. He introduced a line that's supposed to guide us to the story, and it didn't really work out, so now he wants us to ignore the line, forge our own path. Let's do that. Fake windows. Line all over the place. More line. Very quiet. Oh, what's this?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion ending. Find the confusion ending schedule. Narrator restarts the game. 5th restart, narrator forgets about previous restarts. Stanley attempts to play the story but is prevented. Unable to go anywhere or do anything. The game restarts on its own. 6th restart, find the line again, begin following the line, find an identical replica of the office that has begun to deteriorate. Attempt to make up a story here. Narrator restarts the game. 7th restart, there is no longer an office, simply black space. Wander around the blackness, find a bookstore. Get bored and leave. Narrator restarts the game. 8th restart, the narrator's gone. After a long time, Stanley dies. Deviate from maintenance room, end up in monitor room. Narrator restarts the game. Discover 2 doors, now as many additional doors. Office now dead end, turn around. So where are we at? We're here. We're at 5th restart. Find the confusion ending schedule. So we should play the story prevented and then end up in a line and then end up in a blank room.
Oh, hold up. What's this?
Same door.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even
clear.
know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Okay. Narrator forgets. Should be unable to progress.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
New content. We'll go there in a minute.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Oh, I
open
should have went through
doors,
there.
He entered the door on his left.
Let's do it. Let's go door on the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we've been here. Executive bathroom. I've got the fill-in monies for stealing, but not yours, of course. That's a lovely purse. Say, that's a lovely purse. Pooping right by the window. Got a better mirror. Okay. It's all the same, beige pages. This is different. Okay. It's a different office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
All right, let's try it.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah,
Amazing.
sheer luck.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, what is this? An elevator? Where are we going?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Is this the underground facility that I'm supposed to blow up?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I mean, this says escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Of course.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
So, death it is. Or not. Creepy.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
Oh, it is
he
death.
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Maybe we'll live? Nope. Maybe.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator,
What?
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
But that didn't happen. The Stanley
And
Parable.
yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
The narrator, huh? What is this?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Okay, here's the two doors. Pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The set of the two doors open was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once the room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction that this room posed. Ah yes, filing cabinets. Set props. The office, 1, 2, and 3. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game. When buttons are pressed, each sound is a mix of keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Okay, cool. Credits. Stanley Parable. Installing Chart Pro 2.01. Employee database. So there's two ways here. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. So wait a minute, I can go up there. Where does this go? That also goes up. Clock. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Okay. A little side room over here. Lounge. Underground. Early version of the underground portion of the game.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game, roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the game. Okay. I didn't go in the mind control facility. I'm a little curious about that. Freedom ending. Very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. This was what? Confusion ending? Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Fortunately, very few players realized what this was. Well, this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Buttons. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon it and change it again shortly before launch. Screenshots depict an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. That's Portal. This is Portal here. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Let me interact with it. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is repairing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Okay. This should be stairs. Meeting room. Number 1, one option. 1 doorway to maintenance in the lounge. Obey, disobey, lounge, maintenance. 2 options. 2 doorways to maintenance. Obey, disobey, lounge. 3, 1 option. Doorway to maintenance in the lounge and the original back on track option. 2, confusion ending, which we just did, which was going down the elevator. Vent. What about this? I went through a vent, but I didn't see a vent in the lounge. The flow of hallways following the first 2 doors was important to get right since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Number 1 up there. Okay. Cargo lift. Cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also want the option of the player falling to their death, which we did. Second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Why is that counting down? 3, 2, 1. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Instead, we had it to where we could pull a cord, huh? The office. Here's the other stairway, right? Lounge. Anthony Elias, Proposition 12. Partner, I am... Whoa. Hi, Mr. Narrator Guy. I have a question for you, sir. Is it... And it is, what is your message for today, Harris? There's a skeleton inside of you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. It's not wrong. Question brought forth from the intense passion of my soul. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I donate? Why? How? Will the game feature capybaras? Are these real emails? Dear narrator, how do you stay in shape? Sincerely, Michael the Rock Martin. After the second trailer we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here is a selection. Are you gay? I appreciate the previous name of the game as a work of art and standalone title. I appreciate the credit given to the art, which is why I'm eager to see a sequel, prequel, standalone companion game. Because art needs it. Okay. Let's just go down here. Money. Fun. YouTube on the computer. Warzone. 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 Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. About the only shooter I enjoy are ones with RPG elements thrown into them, like Borderlands. Maintenance room. Early version of the maintenance room. The office. Yes, so this is the other stairway. Okay, so I guess we're going to go higher up. All right, what's this way? Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. First was created November 2011. Second, March 2012. Third, February 2013. First office. Second office. Third office. Okay. Seems a lot of time to spend on that office. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as kind of an audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still the same. Okay. Chain. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed two endings together instead. Countdown room. Early version of the countdown room. Freedom ending. Countdown desks. We've been through there. And we've been through here. Okay. What happened there? Huh. Okay.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Should we do it? Let's resume.
Don't let time...
Dead. Let me guess, we restart again. Okay, so that was
All of his co-workers were
confusion
gone.
ending,
What
right?
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Problem is, I'm not going to know when I'm done with the game. How many endings are there? We know there's at least the... Well, this says new content. We know there's at least the freedom ending.
Oh,
And another one.
new content? What does that mean, new content?
Where are we? creepy. It's just a door.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Let me guess, it's not going to be much.
So far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is there a button to press?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Awesome.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Hey, we can jump. Why does it stop me every so often? Maybe I'm jumping too quickly. No more jump. I did it.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
I mean, it
If
is
this
new, right?
Content,
I mean,
then
I don't
could
even
just
know. I
read you
didn't play the
whole
other one.
dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure. This is new. This is new. All right, I guess we're going to check this out next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.